on view in New York for the exhibition But a Storm is Brewing from Paradise, Contemporary Art of the Middle East and North Africa, are 17 artists out of a pool of 20 that were acquired through the Guggenheim UBS Map Fund. And I was able to showcase 18 works from this that worked well with the Guggenheim Museum structure, create elements of site specificity, but also feature this light and airy feel of this cross-circulation of meaning and knowledge, which allowed the works to breathe, but also allowed for this nature of overlapping themes that were prevalent throughout the entire artworks. I mean, it was very important for me as a curator to be able to select works that were ideas-driven as opposed to a geographical kind of narrative. Something I was very interested in was to incorporate the video works, creating installation immersive video experiences. In particular, 2 video rooms were designed, one on Tower 5 and the other on Tower 4, that enabled audiences to enter and really take in that immersive experience. There were instances where we had to bring the works together in this kind of group show context. We have Rockne Herazade's works Exploded in the back that allow for this idea of social media and its viral capacity to really take form in the way we've decided to display the work. And particularly on Tower 5, the centerpiece is Nadia Kabylinki's Flying Carpets, which really creates an anchor for that room. The high ceilings allow for that.
I'm Nadia Kabylinki, artist coming from Tunisia, Ukraine, Russia and Germany. In general, my work has a strong link to migration and the question of immigration because it tells the history of my life, somehow my biography. The title is Flying Carpets. I would say it's a documentary sculpture. It documents 1 week of me living with the street peddlers on a bridge. A bridge also because, like Flying Carpets, it's a symbolic element. It links 2 spaces, it has this hovering effect, and it is over water. So this liquid, also the idea of traveling, and most of these immigrants came through water, through the sea. And they understand that it's a kind of a tribute to their presence, but at the same time it's all about invisibility. So there are no names, it's all anonymous, they stay invisible, but it's the trace of exactly where they have put their carpets that will stay.
Tower 4 features a wide variety of installation-based works, different mediums such as brass, copper, as well as works on paper, both a study on paper but also the study of the book. In the work of Joanna Hadji-Thomas and Khalil Jaraj, the use of the book becomes a medium to create myth-making, so the interesting parallel history that's being created through fictional narrative. And then we have Abbas Akavan's work, A Study for a Monument, that reverses the idea of regality associated with monuments. The plants are cast in bronze and placed very humbly upon the floor.
My name is Abbas Akavan. I'm somebody who makes a lot of site-specific ephemeral work. For the purpose of this sculpture, I decided to work with bronze to reference the invasion of Iraq and bronze's history with weaponry, the historical form of a monument. When you look at a lot of monuments, it starts with plants, and then there's usually a horse, and then there's on top of the horse is the figure that we're memorializing. It's vertical, it's human-centric, it is often colonial or power-related, obviously. So when I was watching these Saddam Hussein monuments being torn down, I was thinking about this moment when like a figurative monument becomes horizontal. The plants are obviously symbolic or metaphorical, so they're horizontal, they're fragmented, they're not of humans. These go against the grain of monumentality.
One of the most exciting and challenging aspects of this curatorial project was obviously working with the quirkiness of the Frank Lloyd Wright design building, and in particular on Tower 4, the Frank Lloyd Wright windows that allowed for an alternative installation, a truncated version, if you like, of Ergin Çavuşoğlu's dust breeding, and taking one component from that anamorphic drawing, the cylinder that exists within the cement factory in Istanbul, and incorporating that with the architecture of the Frank Lloyd Wright building, so that our audiences can really feel like they're in a sphere and see themselves within the monitor as well.
My name is Ergin Çavuşoğlu. I'm an artist based in London. I've been working across media over the last 35 years, maybe more. Dust breeding contextually relates to the idea of solidification of dust, or in the case of the other component in the work, which is a cement factory, solidification of cement. I've been also thinking recently about the idea of dust accumulating over the artwork, rendering it almost out of time, out of place. In an essence, it is about temporality. Placing the work within this particular setting at the Guggenheim Museum actually allowed the work to sort of map different territories.
These artworks will remain in the permanent collection. They will never expire. And hopefully these objects, although they were brought in under the geographical rubric of Middle East and North Africa, that into the future they'll be enjoyed as objects within their own merit.